Okay. Hey, Hunter. Great to have you here. How are you today?
I'm good. Thank you for having me. I'm doing well.
Okay, good. So, for coaches who don't know you yet, I'd love for you to describe what you do and who you help.
Yeah, so I first started my journey in 2021, and it was right after COVID. I went back to school. I was a senior at college, and I took it upon myself to lose 50 pounds. And I lost 50 pounds of body fat. And I did that in a very sustainable and healthy way where I wasn't restricting anything. I was just learning what foods I should be prioritizing, what foods I should be not removing, but what foods I should be portioning or limiting. And I went from an extremely ultra processed diet to a diet that was balanced and healthy and sustainable. And I live by the same fundamentals today that I did to lose the weight. And I became a certified health coach as a result of that. And I started posting on social media because people were asking me how I did it, what my meals were like, tips that I had. And slowly but surely, I started gaining followers. And some of those followers turned into clients who might have been clients years ago, and I still talk to today.
Wow. You have a huge following. I mean, we're talking between Instagram and TikTok. What do you have? What are we looking at here?
I think Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook, it's like 1.2 million.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's actually pretty fast, hey?
It honestly was. There's been a few videos that have done really well for me and have brought me tens of thousands. So that's been awesome.
What kinds of videos, out of curiosity?
So what that went really viral.
Hmm.
It's honestly funny because I have an assistant who films me at the grocery store, but the videos that have gone insanely viral are the ones where I am just holding my phone in the grocery store, talking, and then turning it and showing stuff. So maybe people like the personal aspect of that, and I don't know. It's always things just showing people healthy swaps to products that they use every single day and they don't feel well and they wonder why. And it's because of some of the ingredients in these products. And then once they make the switch, they feel better.
Interesting. Okay, I have so many follow-up questions, even just to that little avenue we've gone down. Because one of the questions I actually wanted, or one of the conversations I really wanted to have with you was about grocery store content, right? This is a very specific kind of content. And I just, first of all, I think my curiosity question is, how do you not feel embarrassed? Legit question is, do you find it embarrassing at all? Are you just,
Yeah.
okay.
It's an amazing question. And I have found certain stores where I am very comfortable filming, and I have found certain stores where I cannot go in. For example, Trader Joe's is very hard for me to film in. They are not nice, usually, the employees, and they ask me if I could get permission from the manager or leave, and I just don't want to deal with that, so I leave. It's very hard. Even though people die for the Trader Joe's videos, they love it, I just can't do it, and it sucks. But I found certain Whole Foods, Fairways, and what's the other store? Targets are much more friendly, and I really have never had an issue at those stores.
Do you ever see anybody else doing it while you're doing it?
No.
Okay. I don't know. I feel like this grocery store content, it's so interesting. I don't know. I'm lacking. I don't know what it is. I just couldn't do it. I don't know. I tip my hat to people who do.
It's helped me with confidence a lot.
Yeah. Does that kind of content do well?
Yeah, that's 90% of my content.
Yeah. Right. Okay. And so this idea of healthy swaps is also a big part of what you do and your content, which is amazing. And I think sometimes I think it's just a pretty cool time to be alive because you could find a healthy swap for pretty much anything. I mean, there's not many things that don't already exist. What do you think?
That's what I say. My initials are HMS, so my motto is Health Made Simple. And I like to say there is a healthy swap for everything, and sometimes those healthy swaps might be a little bit more expensive. But what I do say is your health is your wealth. I recommend and always provide, products when they're on sale. I love shopping the sales and shopping online at places like Thrive Market where they could price match if you find products at lower prices anywhere. And I really am a big proponent. And I also know that regardless of whatever you make at home, it is always going to be far less expensive when you make your food at home compared to getting food out, even fast food. And one of the crazy things about that, which I honestly should dive more into on my social media, is a meal from any traditional fast food place right now could be $15 a person. Whereas if you make a healthier version of let's just say, a hamburger with French fries and a soda at home, it could be $4 or $5 per person.
Yeah. Interesting. So a hamburger, French fries, and a soda at home would be less expensive. Is there also a way to do that healthier?
Of course you can.
Like, is it automatically healthier when you're at home?
Oh, 100%. I mean, I know the McDonald's French fries have like 17 ingredients in them, and they have like natural beef flavoring and all of these additives because they're just awful low quality and they're probably sprayed with pesticides, the potatoes. Whereas you could get organic French fries that are literally pre-made at the grocery store from a brand like Roots Farm Fresh or Jesse and Ben's that are delicious. And it's like $6 for the bag, and there's 6 servings in the bag.
And it's just potatoes.
Potatoes, salt, avocado oil, or olive oil.
Yeah. You know what? I This is going to sound like health elitism, so I apologize, but I haven't been down the frozen food aisle in quite some time. I don't know. I don't buy a lot of frozen or packaged or convenience foods. That's just my thing. Um, so I have not kept my finger on the pulse of the French fry game. I did.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
Because I love fries, I love sweet potatoes and all that stuff. But even a hamburger, I mean, you could get a pound of grass-fed ground beef, and it's what, $6? Or if you go to Costco, you could find it for like $4 or $5 a pound, and you can make multiple burgers out of that. And a McDonald's, not even a Happy Meal, just like, whenever one of those combo meals could be $15, and you feel gross after it and wonder why.
That's true. That's a good point. I think this conversation about cost is actually really valuable, especially now. I mean, in this economy, right? It's just so everything is so inflated, and I think, and maybe you get this too. I don't know if you do with from your clients or your audience. That that's probably the spirit behind this entire branch of the conversation, which is it's just too expensive to eat this way. That's your whole thing. It's like, please. Um, so how do you help your clients with that when you're working with people?
I Yes, so I have a very simple approach to this. And my approach is that I'd love to see what my clients are eating in a typical day. And I'd love to see where we can make swaps. For example, if someone's going into a corporate office and they don't bring any food, maybe they bring a protein bar with them as a snack. They're relying on getting breakfast, lunch, and sometimes even snacks and coffee out. That could be upwards of $50. It depends where you go. It could even be more. And what I would recommend is say, let's just say her name is Erin. I mean, Erin, you could make a yogurt bowl at home that totals probably $3 or $4, and it's made of all organic ingredients, and you know exactly what you're putting into your body, and it's healthy for you, high in protein and fiber. And then you could make a salad, or you can make a bowl, whatever it is, at home, and you could bring that for lunch. And again, that could be $3 or $4, and you will feel so much better, and you are saving tens of dollars every single day. Coffee, I know some companies, I guess, this is just like a random example, some companies would like provide coffee, but don't dump that Coffee Mate and all of those artificial sugar bombs into your coffee, because that's going to make you feel bloated and really, really awful. And I didn't even mention this at the beginning, but one of the most sensitive topics for me is acne, my skin health. And I used to struggle with severe acne. I was on Accutane twice. Do you know what Accutane is?
I was on it once. It wrecked me.
Rex. And I was on it twice, and my dermatologist was like, that's the only way to get rid of your acne. It came back twice after it, and I felt so defeated. And it wasn't until I made the swap and just started understanding and learning about better ingredients and what our body actually, I know it sounds so stupid, but like reading at nutrition labels, like I don't need something with 8 things that I can't pronounce and things that contain bioengineered ingredients and also all of the refined sugar and the seed oils. Like it was just a artificial madhouse bomb. And now knowing what I'm eating in a much more balanced way, where I'm not so crazy about it, but in my home I know exactly what I'm putting into my body, that is the way that I'd love to teach my clients. I teach my friends, family, followers, and of course the way that I live, because I practice what I preach. And that was really another big thing. And I still get acne breakouts from time to time, but it definitely is much less severe. And I attribute 90% of that to not only swapping my skincare products, but also focusing on what I'm consuming every day.
Yeah. I have so many follow-up questions, but this is a really random one, completely out of left field. So brace yourself for impact. Do you have haters?
No, I think the only, thankfully, no. I think the only people, well, I know from what I could see, the only people who comment hateful things on my posts on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, whatever, um, are people who get easily triggered by my content. But I know people who get triggered by girls in bikinis on the beach posting their pictures, and they'll like say mean things about them. So you're never going to please everyone. And I know at the end of the day, I'm helping. I mean, I get testimonials from people I've never met in my DMs almost every single day, and it's the best thing in the world, saying I've helped them, all the things, help them learn how to grocery shop, take the stress out of eating, find products, and it's all free on my platforms. And there's always going to be some people being like, just like nasty things, but I have learned to just block and move on. Like I do not care at all. There's nothing they could say to me that I'm like, okay, I don't care. Like it's always from someone whose username is like user5284 and they don't have a picture. It's not like Erin Power is commenting on my post saying, you are a fraud, I hate you, you're a loser. Like that it never happens. And in person, I've never had a negative interaction.
Okay, good. Love it. Great attitude. I mean, I love the block feature. I use it judiciously. I just will block anybody. Yeah, you said a mean thing. Bye. So the reason I asked that question, because I know it came out of left field, was because I feel like you maybe this is probably my own bias, which is why I'm embarrassed to do grocery store videos, but we have a cocktail of things here. We have the grocery store talking head videos. You mentioned ingredients and how you focus on like the ingredients of things. And you kind of mentioned seed oils, refined sugar, et cetera, et cetera. Those tend to be sometimes topics that irk or annoy a certain category of health and wellness professional. So there's a lot of infighting in the health and wellness professional that I think is actually really dodgy and stupid. So I wondered if you got any pushback on that from haters. Like,
And I've thought about this internally to myself and also to my other friends who are content creators in the similar field who care about ingredients and might focus on weight loss. There are so many people online, so many health coaches online, especially, or nutritionists, dietitians. They all focus on different things. Some focus on women's health, some focus on PCOS, hormones, some focus on strict weight loss, like only weight loss, some focus on eating healthier and cleaner ingredients. I focus on a mix of eating, knowing what you're putting into your body, and also weight loss. I'd say I'd lean more towards the first one, learning about healthy swaps. And I teach that eating healthy is not boring, whereas some people focus strictly on calories and protein. And everyone is going to go along with their own agenda and what they focus on. And I mean, I have seen many articles about and like research studies about, how food makes you feel. And it's not all about calories and protein at the end of the day. And that's something that I have learned to realize. If I'm going to put 10 pumps of sugar-free, zero-calorie hazelnut syrup into my coffee, yeah, it's not going to lead to me gaining weight, but it might lead to me feeling extremely bloated and make my body feel achy and like crap. And it wasn't until I removed foods like that and swapped them for better alternatives like healthier coffee creamers or, not artificial sweeteners, maybe something like organic monk fruit or stevia, like when I started to realize, wow, there really is a healthy swap for everything. So to me, it's not all about the calories like some people preach. And those are usually the people who demonize, only focusing on ingredients and saying that it's fear mongering, whereas knowledge is power. And I just like to educate people, especially based off my own experience after losing weight.
yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. I think the warring, because I'm in the weight loss space as well myself in my practice, and so I would say the warring factions in the weight loss realm is the calories people versus the maybe food quality people. I don't know why those are two different camps, but let's just go with it. I'm just spitballing here. Let's just go with it. And so what I think is interesting is that, like, if this person goes to the supplement store to get their bodybuilder supplements or whatever, and they're given the choice between, free shaker cup. Here's a free shaker cup you get for spending $100, but this one's BPA free. They're going to take the BPA free one. It's like, oh, so you do care about what goes in your body. Like it isn't just the math.
You're right. You're right. I mean, if there's a protein bar that has 200 calories, and 20 grams of protein, but it also has all of the artificial sweeteners. It has red 40 in it, and it has artificial flavors in it. And then there's another protein bar that has the exact same macronutrients to a T. Same protein, same calories, that has all 5 or 6 real ingredients. Which one are you going to choose? And I know cost plays a big role in this because oftentimes the protein bar with cleaner ingredients might be simpler, but I am in the space of buy what you could afford and what your budget could carry. Like, don't buy above your means. And always, that's why I love to provide discount codes for so many of my favorite products. I reach out to the brands, get codes, because stuff could be very expensive, but I realize I would much rather, like, your body is the only thing you're carrying with you for the rest of your life, from the second you're born to the second you pass away, when you're 100, whatever. Like, I will say, for your entire life, your body is the only thing that you could rely on. You have to rely on every single second. And I care a lot, and it's never too late to start making healthy swaps. And I once you swap those ingredients and focus on better for you foods and options, you will feel so much better. And I've seen this with the hundreds of clients who I've helped.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I just want to I want to figure out or understand how you work with clients. So Healthy Swaps is a big part of it. Health Made Simple, things you can afford, fitting into your budget. What I like about all of this language is it's very client centered, right? So you do have to kind of get to know, in a manner of speaking, the person you're coaching to understand what can they afford, what fits into their schedule, their life. This is my favorite thing about health coaching as a health coach educator and an industry veteran, is that we get into relationships with our clients. I'm curious how you work with people. What does it look like to work with you as a client?
Yeah, so I started working with clients a few years ago, and I've done a mix of one-on-one coaching and also group coaching. So I haven't done group coaching in a few months, but for one-on-one coaching, it is a Zoom call, Google Meet call. I don't really do in person because I work with people online. That's how I'm sure. Are you the same? Yeah. And I realized one of the biggest things that I learned in my health coach certification program is the idea of bioindividuality, which is the idea that there's no one size fits all to health, whether that's diet, nutrition, exercise, overall wellness, whatever it is. So for example, I posted something yesterday and a lot of people responded to it, and I hate the taste of mayo, fish, most cheeses, olives, some things like that. And some people, those might be their favorite foods on planet Earth. And that just goes to show, like, you could be healthy avoiding those foods, or you could be healthy eating them every day. So it's really about understanding what the client's favorite foods are, favorite meals are, helping make them healthier, more calorically smart, and also finding ways to increase their micronutrients like fiber, and also obviously prioritizing protein and making sure that they also are making healthy swaps from, say, if a recipe calls for half a cup of margarine or vegetable oil, I say swap it for the same amount of avocado oil, because I know that they will feel better and it's just overall a better oil for you composition wise. And it's just finding little tweaks to make them feel better and also reach their health goals on and off the scale.
Amazing. So you mentioned,
I don't do meal plans because meal plans, I find, are very rigid, and in my life or people I know's life, like, things come up and I don't want them getting too stressed, like, oh my god, I couldn't have my chicken, broccoli, and rice because I got invited to a last minute dinner with a client or a friend. Like, that's too much for me. It's about making the best decision where you are and also learning out how to dine out smart.
absolutely. I 100% agree with that. So a couple things to reflect back. First of all, you mentioned that you learned the concept of bioindividuality in your health coaching training. What I heard you describe, though, is more of simply individuality. Never mind the bio part. It's just, I'm an individual with individual biology and also an individual lived experience, right? I have a family to feed. I have a budget. I have a schedule. I have a job. This has to fit into my life. So it sounds like you really zero in on the individual's needs, which is, again, absolutely in the purview of the health coach. That's what we get to do. And the fact that you don't like meal plans is great because did you know that that's out of scope of practice for health coaches? This is my, I beat this drum all the time, but health coaches actually aren't allowed technically to even make meal plans.
I actually did know that, and I forgot about that. But yeah, it also just doesn't make sense.
It doesn't help anybody. I don't think it helps anybody in execution because what we're trying to do is get people to execute the behaviors in their life.
It doesn't. And the other thing that I forgot to mention is depending on the client's expertise with health, how many times they've quote unquote dieted before. I'm a very big fan of, for the first few weeks, especially the first 2 or 3 weeks, having clients track their calories so that they understand what they're eating. I can, and I'm sure you are very similar. I cannot even explain how many or that proportion of my clients who come to me for the first time saying, I eat so healthy and I don't eat big meals, but I can see the scale go down. And it's all about finding those hidden calories in their meals where or they're snacking on M&Ms and they don't realize that they're eating them, or they're eating chips out of the bag or all the things like eating cereal before the yogurt bowl, whatever it is, and they don't realize those hidden calories. They're putting 5 tablespoons of peanut butter in their smoothie when they think it's 1 tablespoon. I'm sure or they're putting 5 tablespoons of coffee creamer in their coffee when they think that they're putting only a drop. So that's why I'm a very big fan of, depending on whatever it is, like measuring, weighing, counting your calories for the first few weeks, because there's no way for us to truly know unless they are being honest and tracking their food.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, you're right. I do hear that a lot. The one I get from the people that I work with, and this is like clockwork, is I eat really clean. I don't understand why I'm gaining weight. And I'll say, well, that is a real mystery. Let's take a look.
And I could dive into that.
Yeah, do. Please do.
My biggest thing about this, and I'll make it short and sweet, is eating healthy does not equal eating healthy for weight loss. And there is think of it like a Venn diagram, and there is a middle ground, obviously, where you could eat healthy and prioritize real ingredients while also losing weight. And it comes down to being in a slight calorie deficit while keeping your protein levels high and also focusing on just prioritizing real ingredients.
Damn, nice. That was slick because what I liked here, so eating healthy doesn't equal eating healthy for weight loss. Cool. Very nice.
Yes.
And what you're referring to here, and even with that sort of onboarding couple of weeks you do with your clients where you have them track their food to gain the awareness of, quantity, because ultimately the energy deficit has to be there for weight loss. Like it really does. We can't skim over that one. And then food quality matters too. It kind of all matters. And I think it's naive to assume that one or the other thing doesn't matter. Do you know what I mean? Like maybe you see that where people say calories don't matter. Well, that's naive. Maybe people who say food quality doesn't matter. That's also naive. There's that middle ground.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, both matter. And of course, when it comes to weight loss, calories are king. You're not going to lose weight unless you're in a calorie deficit. And there's many ways to get in a calorie deficit, but you're not going to lose weight if you're not in a calorie deficit.
So when you have your clients, let's say, for example, you said maybe for a couple first 2 weeks, they're tracking their food. I got the sense that for you, that was just to orient you all, both of you.
It's to make them it's so I as a coach and also them as a client could see how many calories they are consuming. You could have an estimate eyeball. I mean, I could, I go back to coffee because I talk about coffee and coffee creamers a lot because it is a very big touch point for clients and also my followers where they are not aware of either ingredients or the calories and how much and the portions. They could be like, I put a drop of Chobani creamer in my coffee every day. That drop is 80 calories because they're putting 4 tablespoons in, and they're doing that multiple times a day. So they might think that it's 40 calories the entire day, whereas it could be 360. And as a health coach, that could be a difference of 350 calories, and that throws you out of your deficit.
Yeah, it's those little dozens or hundreds of calories here that people don't. I don't do any calorie tracking at all in my program, only because my clients are my generation, and we are done with that. We invented it basically.
I get it, and that's why I say it's not something that I think needs to be for everyone. But for the specific type of client who comes to me and says, I have tried everything. I am starving myself and I can't lose weight. That's when I need to be like, I need to prove you wrong. And I need, something like that is when I'm like, I need to hold your hand and say this. But that is but it does not happen forever.
No, but it's a good awareness tool. Like I'm envisioning your client coming to you after having truly tracked their splashes of coffee creamer and their little handfuls of this and that. And then all you can say is, do you see how this splash of coffee creamer is actually adding up to 350 calories a day? I'm not asking you to quit drinking coffee. I'm not asking you to quit using that creamer. I just think it's really important for you to see this. And then they get to decide, whoa,
It's awareness.
wait, if I just switched, yeah, if I switch, healthy swap, or what if I dialed it back? I mean, there's a bigger conversation to have, like how many damn cups of coffee are you having a day or whatever.
Oh no.
I know. But so I think it's a good awareness tool. And what I'm not picking up from you, but correct me if I'm wrong, is that you're not then taking their calorie record and then assigning them back some calorie range to then adhere to. You're saying, let's just take a look at it so we can at least orient ourselves.
Oh yeah, it's just for them to understand that they're eating or consuming more, because it's not only eating, it's clearly liquid calories too, that they're consuming more calories than they think they are. And then from there, I could show them how to build meals and just be there. They'll be more aware mentally about how much X, Y, and Z they are using in their meals.
Yeah. There's a study that I talk about a lot, but I never have it pulled up to actually reference it. So this is not a great citation. Um, because well, the way I work on this with my clients is I try to get my clients to be very well satiated at meal times so they're not snacking as much. So that's kind of my healthy swap, is let's swap snacks for meals instead.
I love that.
Yeah, and because for my clientele, women of a certain age, we've been in diet mode for our whole lives, so we have little 100-calorie snack packs of this, but this adds up. You never feel fed. You're just constantly hungry. And anyway, the snacking behavior, never mind whatever they're snacking on. In the study, it was 11% additional calories per day. So let's say this person thinks they're eating 1,500 calories. Well, there's an additional 11% that you're not even accounting for. And that does add up. It's not always, oh my God, I had a big gulp and a large pizza extra today, I'm binging. It's these little tiny microaggressions against the calories that add up over time.
I completely get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Completely.
Okay. So your brand is Health Made Simple. Mine is called Eat Simple. So we're very aligned here. Yes.
No way.
So we,
Oh, I love that. Yeah, because, and I'm sure you could relate to this, whatever your health goal is, everything has been done before. Whether you want to lose weight, maintain weight, lose fat, build muscle, gain weight, whatever your goal is, or just feel better, it's been done before. And there is a formula for it. And it's not a one size fits all formula, but getting healthy is simple. It's not easy. It's simple, but it's not easy. So I'm glad we both use the same word, because it's not, what was your live simple? What was it?
Eat Simple. Eat Simple. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not eat easy. Like, it's not easy to eat healthy, but it is simple if you know what to do.
Okay, so let's just pull that thread for a second, because I know what you mean, but let's try to put some definitions around the difference between simple and easy. So the principles are simple, and frankly, I think most people, regardless of what camp you're in, are saying the same thing: eat more protein, take more steps, go to bed, drink some water. Like, then there's the sort of the additional things, like you might focus on ingredients, and I might focus on something else. But those basics do work. Those are the simple basics, right? Then when you say it's simple but not easy, what is the not easy part?
When I say easy, it means that it's not always like so easy to do it. There's going to be things that get in the way, like conflicts or, cravings and things like that. So the path could be right in front of you, but there still could be barriers preventing you from getting to the next level or doing it.
Barriers. That's a jackpot word.
Does that make sense?
It does, yeah. So you brought up the word barrier, which is a jackpot word for me, because I truly believe that's what health coaches are. One of the biggest parts of our job is, let's pre-identify the potential barriers. So here's the plan for upcoming week, client Sally. What, if any, barriers might get in the way? And then Sally can say, well, sometimes I get sad. Sometimes it rains and I can't go for a walk. Sometimes I might have a meeting that runs late. Like, let's just let's sort of future cast the barriers. And then what we do is we help our clients learn how to do that, how to resolve barriers. Then we're removing the difficulty, making it feel easier.
I love that. I mean, I think I've always used the word obstacles, but it's the same thing.
It is, yeah. Yeah. So like if you have a client, you say you do one-on-ones over Zoom or Google Meet. So if I'm your client, do I show up for the coaching call? Was it once a week? And what would we talk about?
Usually once a week, sometimes every other week. It depends on the client. And I would always talk about, like, especially if it's a weight loss client, I would have Google Sheets with like weight tracking and things like that, how they feel, things, all of that. And we would talk about, what's went well the previous week or 2 weeks, what has been an obstacle the previous week or 2 weeks, and then we discuss them, and then also what's coming up in the next week or 2 weeks. What could be getting in your way? Do you have any big events? Are you traveling? Things like that. And then we would walk through and work through how to overcome those barriers.
Make a plan. Get some set some goals. Amazing.
Is yours similar?
Yeah, I mean that's how I train health coaches, and so that's to me that's my mind. That's the framework of a coaching conversation, which is let's set an intention for this session. What do you most need to get from me this week? And that basically is what's going on with you, the client, this week. What do we need to address? Let's set a goal. Let's make a vague, a general plan for you to generally follow. And I mean, depending on the kind of health coach, like you and I are kind of in this simple realm, but there's some health coaches that are in the very prescriptive, super strict realm. Maybe they're dealing with athletes or high performance type people, and they have maybe more strict parameters to their programs. But either way, that's the framework of a coaching conversation as far as I'm concerned. It's massively transformational. So I just want to, I mentioned before we press record that in these conversations, I love to talk to health coaches about how they do health coaching because that my audience is health coaches here. So you've got these one-on-one relationships. You do occasional group coaching. So what is that group coaching model container?
So I've worked on a PowerPoint. The group coaching focuses 90% on weight loss and 10% on ingredients. And just in the past, my own experience. And it's always been only women. That's all who signed up, even though one-on-one could be half and half, men and women. And I focus every single week is on a different topic. It could be how exercise affects weight loss. Then it could be how to shop at the grocery store. Then it could be, my favorite fat loss foods. Then it could be dining out. Every single week is a different topic, and it's usually, I believe, 10 or 12 weeks long. And it would be me going through the PowerPoint or presentation for the first 30 minutes, and then the last 30 minutes would be a Q&A. And it would just be like-minded women, usually in their 40s and 50s, who want to lose weight. And it's been really great having a grouping community. There's a group chat on the side along with that. And it's very motivational. And it's also great for sparking ideas for meals. A lot of people need more meal ideas. And them all sharing the pictures and thoughts about their meals really helps. And their favorite products too.
Yeah. No, that's the beautiful power of a community. In my weight loss program, we have a group chat. So we actually have a group chat on Telegram, and it's a great place to, crowdsource, ideas for breakfast or healthy eating on the run or whatever. And the community helps each other. And I feel like too that people really are craving community. So I think that's one of the benefits of a group program like that. You're creating a little community container.
It is. There's some people want one-on-one and some people want group. So there's, area for whatever you want. Some people like listening to other people's questions and answers and are shyer, and some people need all of the attention, so one-on-one's better for them.
Cool. So you mentioned that you haven't done a group in a while. You're mostly focusing on one-on-one and other stuff, I guess. I'm just like I want to understand how you put together your typical work week, I guess, because you are a full-time health coach and content creator. Is this your whole thing now? This is what you do. You pivoted here.
Yeah, it's actually most like 95% content creation now.
Got you. Okay. So are you cool to talk about like vaguely your income streams? Vaguely? So if you say it's 95% content creation, are we talking brand deals and affiliate?
So I would say, yeah, when it comes to percentages, I don't know the exact percentages, but I do work with a lot of brands after, vetting their products, aligning with their mission, and loving their products, whether it's a probiotic or electrolyte or chips, whatever it is. We both have the holiday cups. That's so funny. I never get coffee out, but today I needed to because I made coffee last night and it's not like in my cold brew maker, and I never and it's not ready yet. It needs 24 hours. So yeah. But what I was going to say is I'd say 80% of my income comes from brand partnerships. And then the remaining 20 when it comes to social media, comes from Amazon and also other affiliates, like my water filter that I use that's behind me, and my air purifiers that I have three in my apartment, two in my apartment, three in my apartment. And yeah, like those are things that really matter to me. So my audience sees that, and I mean, it's amazing helping people go from drinking tap water to getting a one-time purchase of high-quality water filter, and it changes their health because it's filtering out all the contaminants.
Okay, I feel like sometimes when I interview folks for this podcast, what I'll do is I'll usually chase them around and listen to them on other podcasts to hear how they talk about what they do. So I listened to you on a different podcast. I can't remember which one it was now. Um, but you're talking about how when you first got on social media, whether it was Instagram or TikTok, I can't remember, probably Instagram maybe, and you would just start by tagging like simple meals, like I just like these crackers.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's exactly true. When I had under 100 followers, I would literally be posting pictures of my meals. Let's say it's a yogurt bowl with all the things in it. I would take a picture of the yogurt bowl and I would write today's yogurt bowl using Stony Fields organic non-fat Greek yogurt, at Whole Foods frozen organic wild blueberries, at Seven Sunday cereals, cocoa cereal, at whatever peanut butter. And slowly I would start getting reposted by these brands with lots of following and lots of health focused followers. And they would see that and follow me. And that was like a really big way that I was able to grow at the beginning.
I mean, that's just so simple. I don't know why it never occurred to me to do that.
I mean, it sounds crazy. It's so simple, but that's just what I did. I mean, I'd be like, I love this protein powder by at whatever. And if that brand reposted it, it goes like their followers who see their story see it. And you get it. And it's like crazy.
It is amazing. I follow like I've had a lot of business coaches over the years who would say things like it's important, for example, to follow people who are in different industries than yours, because if you get in your own echo chamber too long, it kind of just feels like there's only thing people talk about online is weight loss. So, anyways, the long story short is I followed this woman who is a Western fashion influencer, whatever, right? Like cowgirl fashion, okay. And she has this huge following. She has these massive brand deals, and she started the exact same way. She would just get like a nice cowboy hat and she'd tag the brand, get a nice new pair of boots, tag the brand, and then the brand started reaching out to her. So is that how like these brand partnerships that you have? How do you like? Do you reach out to them, or do they reach out to you, or is it a little bit of both?
It is 80% them reaching out to me. And I do have a management team now. And they source, I'd say, around 50 to 60% of my partnerships. And I am reached out to by brands probably 40% of the time. Unless once in a blue moon, I'll reach out to a brand and it just works out that way. But yeah, it's a good mix.
Wow. So you have this management team that's sort of facilitating these relationships, and then but you vet the products to just to make sure they're in line with.
Oh yeah, I mean every product. I've never agreed to anything where I haven't either like eaten, drinking, tried, used whatever the scenario is, the product. Like if it's a Theragun, which I think this is actually a Hyper Ice. That's not a partnership, so bad example. But like if it's like an electrolyte, like I would never be like, get these electrolytes. The ingredients are great. If it could taste horrible, So like even if everything looks perfect, I would never say yes unless it actually like tasted good, Like I found 2 months ago, one of my favorite energy drinks. They came out with a soda line, and it is the most amazing ingredients ever. And I was like, okay, like how good could this be? Like, to be honest, I was like, how good could this be? So they sent me it. I tried it. When I tell you that it tastes identical to Sprite and it has 5 calories and 0 grams of sugar and everything, and I'm like, this is the sickest thing that I've ever tried. And like, my passion for the product shows in the video, which is why like it was such an authentic, real partnership, because it's such a small company. And I was like, I am so excited to share this with everyone because I have 1 or 2 a day. and they are so delicious and it's crazy. So it's all about finding my favorite products and whether the brand reaches out to me or like I say no so many more times than I say yes. And people don't see that.
Got you. I think about this because like we're all savvy to influencer marketing, let's say, as the consumer. And by the way, I have no brand deal, so I am the influenced in this case.
So does your 100% of your income come from your
Coaching. Yeah,
coaching, whether it's other coaches or clients? You coach clients personally too.
I do. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's both of those.
Yes. Yeah, I coach clients and I'm on the faculty of a health coaching school, and that's my whole income stream.
What school?
It's called Primal Health Coach Institute.
Yes, and I've heard amazing things about that, and I probably shouldn't say this, but I'm gonna be honest. Like, if I could go back and redo my health coaching certification, I would go through the Primal Health Coach. Who founded that one?
Mark Sisson.
Yes. So I have a friend who just became a health coach, and she did that one because I was like, you should do this. And I just feel like the curriculum is much more up my speed than the one that I did. And mine was great for other reasons, but I feel like right now I would align more with the primal health. So that's really cool.
Yeah. But so as the influenced in this case, okay, I'm on my
And I'm influenced all the time.
yeah, I'm on my phone. So this is one thing that really rubs me the wrong way. I'm going to share a very specific example, but I'm not going to mention anybody's name. There's somebody that I follow, and she's kind of got a few fitness clothing brand deals. You can tell she has a fitness clothing brand deal because once a month she's all about Athleta. Okay, I love these Athleta leggings. I love them. They're so cute. They're so comfortable. They're amazing. Athleta, Athleta, Athleta. But then in her stories, she's never, ever, ever wearing Athleta. She's wearing a totally different. She's wearing a different brand completely.
Like Lululemon.
Yeah. Right. So it's
That's interesting. I mean,
like we clock that, right? I clock it when somebody drinks AG1 one day a month, but they're not drinking it any other day of the month. I do notice that.
so what I'll say is
What do you think about that?
I feel like clothing is different than like a food product because I could eat a protein bar and I'm not like sharing it every day, you know? Or like I go to a workout class every like 5 days a week. I'm at a workout class and I maybe story it once a week. But like so not everything you do, some creators do, but not everything I do, I'll speak for myself, is online. Like my breakfast today, I had a yogurt bowl. No one would know because I didn't post it. So like AG1, so I guess like not everyone needs to post that every day, but when it comes to clothing or something like that, that's not good because like if you're a fitness influencer and you're like I swear by Aloe's t-shirts and it's my favorite t-shirt, the only one I wear, and then you're posting stories at the gym in Lululemon or a competing brand, like that's just dumb. I'm sorry.
So just to circle back, the only reason I know that she's not wearing Athleta is because in her stories, she goes on and on and on. This is a very specific female anatomy thing. She goes on and on about how leggings with a seam in the front are the absolute worst. Like, ugh, these seams in the front, and they are terrible. But Athleta has a seam in the front. So it's like, you're not wearing it. It does. Anyway.
No. Wait, when you say seam, what does that mean? Like, I'm just trying to.
There's a seam that goes down the front of the leg. And so if you think the pelvis part of the leg, and there's a seam that goes down the front, and that's not good for ladies' anatomy. That's not a good look for us. We don't like it.
Oh God, that's a bad partnership. And like, what I would say is,
I know.
Athleta should probably they like when they see this creator's stories or whatever, they should realize that and like figure that out because that's not good.
Yeah. Because the thing is, like in talking to you, it makes me really think, and for health coaches listening, right? Because the thing is, health coaches who graduate a school like you did, or the school that I work for, and they want to make this their job.
Yeah.
I always tell them you're probably going to have to cobble together an income doing a bunch of different things.
Transparency to me is the most important thing. And I could be very busy with brand partnerships, but it's all brands that I love and use. Like I love them. And I think in the long run, what I've realized, and it's true, you don't want to say yes to everything right now because it's money coming in, because you'll lose your authenticity because people will see right through it. So that's where it's like say yes to what you love, but don't overdo it with things that you don't like or use or eat whatever, because people will see right through that. And then the other thing I wanted to say on that, oh yeah, like when I graduated college, so I was just like what you were saying about juggling so many things. I was coaching clients, I was trying to build my social media, and I had worked a full-time job. So it was everything all at once, and it was not easy. And something's always going to have to give, and it was hard. But like I was so drained physically and emotionally that like and mentally that like it was hard. But sometimes you just have to push through it. And then I was thankfully able to make this my full-time thing, and it's only grown since then because I've given it so much attention.
I think a lot of people throw in the towel though. So I kind of want to, so
Yeah.
again, going back to the health coach who's just starting out, because you grew relatively quickly. Like you started in 2021 and here we are.
Yeah, I mean, at the first like year or two, it definitely wasn't quick, but it picked up.
Right. Right. That's a good point.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So it has this sort of like hockey stick thing, right? And it's those early slow days when people bail. Like, well, this isn't working. So,
yeah. They're like, I haven't blown up yet, and I'm not a celebrity, so I'm just gonna quit.
right. So that's my question for you is like most coaches listening to this are going to feel so small compared to your following and will feel like it's impossible to even imagine getting a fraction of the way there. So what
What should the audience take away?
what does audience okay, let's start with this. What no. I want what does audience size
I think right now,
how does audience size affect what you do day to day? So when you had 100 followers, what's so different between then and now, what you do day to day?
I mean, this is just a fact. I've become a better creator. I and that comes with time. I've learned, and this is something that everyone listening should take away. Don't focus on creating content around what is trending and what is the popular thing. Focus on two things. One, it has to be a niche, health or not health related, that you actually enjoy and are passionate about and are educated on, like knowledgeable about. And it also has to be something that your audience cares about, your current audience. Don't focus so much on growing your follower number. Focus more on satisfying and pleasing and entertaining, educating your current audience, because that's how your engagement rate will go up. And then that's how your audience will send it to their friends and you'll get more real followers. And that's how you want to focus.
Amazing. That's really good. That's really, really nice advice because I feel so it's an authenticity play, right? I honestly, maybe that's what we'll see. I'm hoping moving forward is a return to kind of relevancy and authenticity on social media, a little bit less of the viral tactics, maybe. That'd be nice.
Yes.
Okay, well, what advice do you have for the coach who's just getting started? Well, you just gave us some good advice, but I mean,
Just getting started. It's very defeating to see people with hundreds of thousands or millions of followers doing what you dream to do when you have 2 followers. And what I would say is literally just start making content that you would want to see. And it sounds so silly, but I wouldn't focus on links or things like that. I would just focus on making your Instagram reels and TikTok videos, being confident, talking to the camera, and trying not to copy and mimic someone's exact style, even if it's working for them. Focus on you and what you would want to see, and don't try to replicate what someone else is doing, because everyone is different and you're not going to get anywhere by copying exactly what a certain creator who's successful is doing. And be consistent. People are not consistent. And it's real. Like, people are not consistent.
just post consistently. Just
Post consistently, yes. Yes.
yeah. So what, like multiple times a day, or at least once a day, or it doesn't matter as long as it's consistent.
Right now, I'm in a phase where I'm posting twice a day, and it's just I'm really working hard. But it does not need to be like that. Like, some people post a few times a week, and just don't go weeks without posting.
Yeah. Okay. So you're posting. I just want to finish with this because you're posting twice a day. So today you're going to post twice if you haven't already.
Already posted once. I'm gonna post another one this afternoon.
Okay.
I have to finalize the editing.
Is it already conceived, edited, ready to go, or how do you?
I have to finalize the editing and then write my caption. Oh yeah, I do everything myself.
Okay.
Well, except for the filming if it's in a grocery store, of course.
Okay, so you do a lot of it yourself. Do you, and
Yeah.
okay, amazing. So like,
No, but what I do is I try to batch record. So I will record like 7 or 8 videos.
okay, you bring someone to film. Oh, interesting. So you bring, um, like, let's say tomorrow. Do you already know what tomorrow's content's going to be, or does it just come to you on organically?
With my assistant twice a week. So that helps. And then my assistant will also make my graphics for me. So my photo graphics, which people love. But some people, like you might post graphics and your followers won't interact with them, you know? So, like, everyone's audience is different. You have to just find what works. Like, and my assistant is excellent at making these very aesthetically pleasing graphics, whereas I am artistically challenged and I am not able to put it all together like a puzzle. So I tell her what I want in the graphics and she makes them for me. And that's how it works.
Amazing. Okay, so like if you guys do a batch record so you're going to go to Whole Foods or something, do you just wander down the aisles and say, "Ooh, let's do a peanut butter one"?
It's as simple as that.
Oh, okay.
Health and videos made simple.
Amazing. It was really delightful, Hunter, chatting with you because you have a successful platform, a successful business, and simple advice that I think a lot of our coaches can take and run with. So,
Thank you. I mean, this has been so fun, and I'm so excited for the episode to be live and listen to it back. Probably not watch, but listen to it back. I can't watch myself for an hour or whatever. But yeah, I mean, thank you for so much for having me on, and I'm so excited to follow you and like just continue like learning from you and see what you post and just see what works for you because I'm sure it'll be different from me.
it couldn't be more different from what you.
Exactly. Exactly.
Well, tell the audience where they can connect with you and learn from you and see all your stuff.
Yeah. So Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. My usernames on Instagram and TikTok are at Health with Hunter, and my Facebook is Health with Hunter with spaces in between the words. You'll find it, and then my YouTube is just at Health with Hunter as well. But that is all my TikTok videos syndicated to YouTube, so nothing new there. But I'd appreciate a follow.
Cool. Actually, I know we're wrapping, but I'm surprised about Facebook. I'm surprised that you.
Facebook's been fantastic for me, and that's been an older audience. And what I love about Facebook is it requires, unless I want to post something new on Facebook, it requires no extra effort for me because Meta obviously owns Instagram and Facebook, and everything I post on Instagram, stories, posts, everything, they automatically go on Facebook, and it's been incredible for me. So make sure new health coaches or anyone starting an account or anyone who has an account, make sure your accounts are syndicated because it requires no extra work, and it is just amazing like that I've been able to grow a community on Facebook. It's been awesome.
That's great. All right, Hunter, thanks a bunch. It was really great chatting with you, and we'll keep listening. We'll keep listening to you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.